Today on Monkey Life, diabetic golden-cheeked gibbon Alex needs dental treatment, but the operation is complicated by her condition.
We are having to make slight alterations and allowances in the anaesthetic protocol to make sure that her blood glucose doesn't go too low or too high through the procedure.
Chimpanzee Eddi sends a wild intruder packing.
I don't know whether she's just feeling particularly protective of the group and she's trying to rush in there, like her brother doesn't necessarily step in and do those things, so whether she's thought maybe I should deal with it.
And orangutan matriarch O'Sheen enjoys playtime with youngster Hujan. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison Cronin, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
So far, so good. Nice job. Really nice job.
The park provides a home for more than 250 primates from 24 different species. One of the park's oldest gibbons, golden-cheeked female Alex, is having problems eating. She has a broken canine and an abscess, which appear to be causing her pain. The primate care team have also noticed some weight loss in recent weeks. They've called in the vets to remove the infected tooth and give the gibbon, who's thought to be about 37 years old, a thorough examination. David Holler will perform the procedure, with wildlife vet Rowena Killick managing the anaesthetic.
No, thank you.
So you'll just let us know when she's had it? Yeah.
Alex, who's lived at the park for more than 20 years, is diabetic and needs daily insulin to keep her condition under control. She had an arm amputated in the past, following a fight with another gibbon. She's been trained to take injections, and one of the primate care staff has successfully hand-injected her so she can be quickly taken the short distance to the park's hospital. But because she's having an anaesthetic, she hasn't eaten or had her insulin yet. It makes today's dental surgery more complicated.
We are having to make slight alterations and allowances in the anaesthetic protocol to make sure that her blood glucose doesn't go too low or too high through the procedure. And mostly it's making sure we've got everything prepared so that the procedure is as short as we can possibly make it, but we will also be checking the blood glucose periodically throughout and making any alterations as necessary.
As soon as Alex is on the table, Rowena intubates her and inserts a cannula for fluids, which will help the gibbon's recovery. Once the team are happy she's stable, they take a blood glucose reading.
Yeah, 38.6.
Oh, wow. OK.
The reading is high, but the vets will keep monitoring her. David now needs an X-ray of the tooth and surrounding area to see what's causing Alex's problem.
Yeah, properly broken, but it's actually started to regress the root and it's actually ankylosed back to there, so.
It's as he suspected.
A bit rotten. It may mean we're going to be digging around to get fragments and bits out for a little while, but we'll find out in a moment.
David gives Alex a local anaesthetic which will numb the area and mean they can keep the general anaesthetic to a low level. Then he gets started, probing and loosening the gum around the infected canine.
You can see how this has gone completely rotten here now. You've got the dark enamel, but we've actually got pus and everything going up the side.
David drills away part of the bone holding the tooth in. But the canine is so rotten, it doesn't need much persuasion to come out.
Yuck.
It's not the healthiest looking tooth, is it?
No.
David checks for any loose fragments before stitching up the hole left by the extracted canine.
It went very smoothly. I'm very pleased with that. Hopefully we can get that that weight back on, get that condition back on now that we've taken away the sore tooth. Nothing else of a immediate concern, immediate alarm came to light. We've got some bloods going off to the lab just to check liver, kidneys, make sure everything else is okay. But hopefully it is, and hopefully we'll have a condition back up and back to full form in really short space of time.
Rowena tests the ketone levels in Alex's blood, crucial in the management of diabetes. The levels are low, which is a good indicator.
0.2.
Is it worth giving her insulin now as we wake her up?
Yeah, I was thinking that might be worth doing.
Before that, David uses a laser to kill any bacteria and speed up healing. Alex will be given pain relief and antibiotics for the next few days. She's returned to the transport box and monitored until she comes round, which doesn't take long due to the light anaesthetic. David is pleased with how it's gone.
We had to cut away the bone a little bit, take the root out, scrape out all of the infected tissue, and then close it up and, wake her up, which has gone very smoothly, all things considered. And, she's up and about and looking pretty good already for a very short time following the anaesthetic. So.
Alex will be returned to her bedroom where the team will keep her under observation. Hopefully, she'll be back to her normal self in no time. Baby orangutans Saibu and Kiwi have now established a regular daily routine at the nursery, spending their time having fun in their purpose-built playroom. The rest of the gang were curious at first, but without physical contact, their interest has started to wane. And when the weather is good, they spend the majority of their time in the outside enclosure, playing and having fun.
Play is a really important way to learn new things and to judge how other animals behave around you. So these guys all living together is slightly unusual for orangutans, but they have so many opportunities in the day to wrestle and play and learn stuff and just mess around, and they get a lot from it. They learn a lot about what they're capable of for climbing and wrestling and how strong they are. They also learn how to deal with the politics of being with another orangutan. And whereas in the wild, their mum would be able to teach them, no, don't do that, you've gone too far, or, oh no, that's fun, do that again, it's funny. These animals can do that together.
All this group were either orphaned or rejected by their mothers, so to varying degrees were hand-reared. Being in a small, close-knit unit with companionship of their own kind has been really important for their development.
They can learn so much more from an orangutan than they can from us, so this is what we aim for.
There are 5 members of the nursery group, including Bulu Mata and Rika, both Sumatran orangutans, who arrived 2 months apart and have developed a very close relationship in the 10 years they've been at the park. Then there's Hujan, who came from Crefeld Zoo in 2019. And Kayan, the youngest member, who was almost 5 years old when she arrived in 2023 from Twycross Zoo. They're overseen by the matriarch of the group, Oisin. She spent the first 13 years of her life as a pet. So it was a culture shock when she arrived at the park and had to learn how to live as an orangutan. Oisin can be a bit grumpy and lazy, but today she's on top form interacting with the group, particularly Hujan, who she seems to have a soft spot for.
It's really nice to see Oisin happy. These little moments where you see her really get into something and start laughing and just looking really relaxed are great. When we think about when she first arrived and how difficult she found adapting to this kind of life, it's so lovely that all these years on, she absolutely loves hanging out with the kids. She loves being out in the sunshine. She loves watching everybody walking around and doing their thing. And sometimes she just has enough energy to get involved, and today is one of those days.
Hujan only joined the nursery 2 years ago, having spent his initial time in Tuan's adult group. He's developed into a lovable character.
Hujan's a really nice lad. He gets on with everybody. There isn't anyone that Hujan's met yet that he's managed to upset, really. Apart from when he first met Oisin and she wanted to steal his food and he said no. And actually, Oisin respected that. So, yeah, he's so nice that even Oisin doesn't mind if he wants to hang on to his dinner. He has a really good relationship with everybody. He likes to wrestle with everyone. He particularly likes playing with Oisin, and she really enjoys doing that with him as well.
The orangutan nursery is a special place where the youngsters can be with others of their own kind and learn and grow together, as Saibu and Kiwi will soon find out. With more than 65 acres of land to manage and maintain, the teams at Monkey World regularly check the primate enclosures, making sure they're safe and secure, as well as thinking of ways to adapt them to improve the quality of life for the animals in their care. Every so often, the destructive force of nature takes its toll. A couple of years ago, a violent storm brought a number of trees down across the park, with the Capuchin Lodge enclosure being badly hit. An extensive renovation was required, but now as new vegetation and tree saplings have grown, a few tweaks are needed. The primate care and maintenance team are spending the morning trimming the rapidly growing brambles and installing new hosing.
Back in the reach. Reach something.
The aim is to connect some of the trees, providing a corridor for the capuchins to use in the canopy.
It's a really nice enclosure because it's so natural. But over the past couple of winters, with all the high winds and the storms that we've had quite a lot of trees go over. So we've done quite a lot of maintenance work in here to make the fence stable again. But actually it just means that the enclosure is naturally constantly changing for the animals. So today we're just doing a bit of a refurb really, trying to sort out some of the old stuff that's got tangled in the foliage. We don't want to leave it there. And just putting some new stuff up. We've lost a lot of the height because a lot of the tall trees went over. So we're trying to put some more tall bits of hosing up and just a few more cargo nets to fill in the gaps so that they can utilise and use the whole of the area rather than just foraging on the floor and the few trees that there are. We want to try and connect it all again.
Eriko's troop is an eclectic bunch. There's a big age range, with older animals who were wild caught and love to go up in the trees, and younger ones who were born in captivity and tend to spend their time foraging closer to the ground. The lodge enclosure is perfect, as it creates an environment catering to all the capuchins' needs.
There's lots of natural visual barriers, so they can all share the same space, but if they're maybe feeling a little bit intimidated, then they can just go to a different area, find their own foraging spot, and they're not put off by a lot of the other individuals.
Some of the troop are waiting patiently in the tunnels, watching on as the team carry out the renovations. If all goes to plan, the group of 14 will be able to test out the enclosure later in the day. There are 4 groups of chimpanzees at the park. The smallest, with only 7 members, is led by Brian. The largest troop is 18 strong, with Hananya as their alpha male. Then there's the Bachelors, an all-male adult group with Paco as the leader. And finally, there's Bart's troop, with 14 individuals under his leadership. At just 18 years old, he's a young alpha male who's growing into his role, but still has a lot to learn about being top man. Particularly how to discipline some of the higher-ranking members of his troop.
They are a really stable group. Everyone knows where they stand with everyone else. So yeah, he doesn't really have a lot to do in that regard, but that's why I get a bit more annoyed with him, because literally his only job is dealing with Gamba and he doesn't. So it's just, he doesn't have a lot else on his plate, so he could be stepping up and kind of keeping Gamba a bit in check. It takes a lot for Bart to finally get up and do something. Or he'll do a bit of a Hananya and he'll charge over there and then he'll take it out on the completely wrong person. But I think he's still a young chimp, he's still growing into the role, and yeah, maybe he'll turn out a bit better in a few years' time. I still have hope.
The latest member of Bart's group is Sasha, who arrived almost 3 years ago from Buenos Aires Zoo. She's now fully integrated into her new family, and they all like to relax together. But anything unusual can put them on alert, and every now and then, one of the wild deer living around the park ventures too close to the fence line, setting the chimps off. Today, it's Bart's sister Eddi who chases away the intruder.
Eddi is, for the most part, a very chilled chimp. I mean, she has her moments, like, you know, when someone's overstepped, because she doesn't let it go very easily, but it takes a lot to push her to the edge there. But yeah, I don't know whether she's just feeling particularly protective of the group and she's trying to rush in there, like her brother doesn't necessarily step in and do those things, so whether she's thought maybe I should deal with it.
The group recently lost one of the park's original chimps, Mickey. Sadly, he passed away after a short illness. He was estimated to be about 42 years old, but may have been older. Mickey was one of the original 9 chimpanzees to be brought to Monkey World in 1987. They'd all been illegally stolen from the wild and subjected to horrific abuse as Spanish beach photographers' props.
Yeah, losing Mickey was pretty devastating, but he was an older boy. You know, he's had a good run here, he's had a good life. We did see him slowing down. We had a bit of a cold going around the group, but even before then, we thought he was slowing down quite a bit, and then the cold really seemed to take it out of him. And sadly, because he just wasn't perking up, and we really didn't think he had the quality of life anymore, we made the kindest decision for Mickey. And as we found out afterwards, after he's gone for a post-mortem, it was the right decision. His heart was failing, it was having an impact on everything else, and yeah, he wasn't going to get better. But in the end, at least, he went peacefully. Mickey was a little force to be reckoned with, so not a big chimp, but yeah, no one really messed with him massively. And he was quite a sweet little old man for the most part. Even when he was younger, he still looked like a little sweet old man, and he generally was. Yeah, he was a good old boy.
There are now just 3 of the park's originals left.
Yeah, sadly we're now down to just the 3 of them, just Buster, Beth and Cindy, who, touch wood, are still going strong, but yeah, our guys are getting old, unfortunately.
Age may be against them, but all 3 are still highly active and are a poignant reminder of why Monkey World was founded. At Erico's forest enclosure, the primate care staff have completed the revamp, and it's time for the group to give it a test run. Annie is giving the troop of 14 a little treat to encourage them. She's putting sliced apple pieces all around the enclosure, some on the ground and some up high.
We've hidden a bunch of fruit in all of their high feeders, so it just encourages them to climb a bit higher, which is more natural for them. They'd be doing that in the wild. Hopefully, we'll see them using a bit of their semi-prehensile tails as well, so they'll be using those for balance, and they'll have to use a little bit of their dexterity to work out how to get into the climbing feeders.
The team spent the morning rejigging the enclosure, putting in new cargo nets and adding extra hose to connect some of the trees.
Up in the high trees, we always double up hosing, so you'll notice there's a higher hose and a lower hose. They'll climb along the lower hose and they'll use their tails to support them in the higher one. This is so that if they fall, they've got something that they can use as balance, which in the natural trees, they'd be doing a lot. Especially for our older guys, it also gives them that little bit of safety when they are trying to climb, and then they don't need quite as much mobility as they may need to climb the actual trees.
The lower-ranking individuals are let out first, while the more dominant characters are kept back in the playroom. This gives the low-rankers a chance to explore and find the treats, before high-rankers like Erico and Sean join the fun and monopolise what's on offer. Phoenix, one of the older wild caught ladies, likes to graze at height. Joey hogs the tunnel and takes exception when Scarlett dashes out. She's not happy and makes her feelings known. While some of the group, like Marlowe, are happy foraging on the ground, Scarlett is straight up onto the new hosing. Testing it out, before happily munching on a piece of apple while deciding what to do next. She soon spots the pulley feeder. Capuchins are perfectly adapted to life up high, and Scarlet, who was also wild caught, has the skills to forage at height. She picks out a piece of apple and heads to the top of a pole where she can view the changes to her forest home. Some of the others, like Molly, are also up high in the trees, helped by the new hosing. Annie and the team are pleased their efforts have borne fruit.
It's amazing to see them. It's what they should be doing in the wild, so if we can replicate it as much as we can, it's amazing to see them using their mobility like they should be. They've spent a lot of time on the floor in their lives, so they want to be up in the trees. Scarlet is a good example of that. She'll always choose to be up there.
Time for the high rankers to be let loose. Erico is the leader of the group, ably backed up by Sean. The top female is now Louisa, one of the 3 Capuchins in this group who were rescued from the UK pet trade. The boys love their food and get stuck in. Most of the lower-ranking individuals have already seized their opportunity. Erico and Sean may like to tuck in, but they can be a lazy duo.
Sean and Erica are very capable. They're youngsters. They can go up the trees. If you only put the food in the pulley feeders that we've got, they have to go up and they will go up to get the food. But if they can get away with just staying on the floor, that's what they will do. There's part of them that's just a little bit lazy.
But not today. Having searched at ground level for easy pickings, the 2 top males are having to put in some effort, get off the ground, and head up high in search of food. Even Louisa, who only has 1 arm, is way up in the trees. It's exactly what the primate care staff were hoping for in their goal to give the primates as natural a life as possible. Next time on Monkey Life. Newly arrived lemur Ben meets boss lady Fennel and conducts himself accordingly.
He's being very respectful and she's just sort of taking it in her stride, really.
And not so much a smash and grab, more of a grab and smash for Donnie's Capuchin troop.